Peace and blessings. Today we are talking about the true meaning of sex, and before I get into this video, let me just introduce myself to those that may not know who I am. My name is Asia, and you can follow me on my socials down below. Natty Natural Gal, NattyNatural And you can also follow my business page as well, Natty Natural LLC. Natty Natural is here to bring awareness to the chakras and also as well as the health and wellness of the vessel. And that's our mission. And I do this through creating conjure work through my products for self-care, for those that radically practice self-care. Back to the topic. What is the true meaning of sex? So I asked some people from Instagram and they gave me some different responses. And the different responses that I got were generally energy magic, merging of spirits, deep energy exchange, intimate intertwining, sacred, deep connection, creation, etc. Now, I'm not going to place any judgment, how I feel about these answers. I'm just going to give you mine. What is my true meaning of sex? Sex is an energetic exchange. And this kind of simplifies things as far as the meaning, because I have faith that sex is just that. It's just an energy exchange. Sex, to me, is not just a physical act. Now, in the narrative, sex is a physical act of intercourse, which sometimes can be looked at as good, or it can be looked at as a slut shame kind of thing where it's deemed shameful to be openly sexual. Although, if we truly look at, the definitions of these words, like intercourse means connection or communication between individuals or groups. Other words for intercourse are trade, transaction, and interchange. And all of these words, trade, transaction, and interchange, are surrounded by an exchange of sorts, right? When you think about energy is not even a physical thing. If you're tuning into watching this, you are receiving my words, and that is an energy exchange. So technically we're having a sexual encounter right now. And that is something that I want to kind of enlighten people on. It's boring, it's old, it's tired. We need to redefine things. And I'm talking about we for me. We is me, the we and me. Another form of exchange when it comes to sex is being a sex worker, right? And that is ultimately deemed shameful, but I do not feel as if there is a need to put down women that do exchange in that way, because technically, if we're talking about the meaning, it's an energetic exchange, but also money is the lowest form of exchange. I feel like that is kind of breaking down why it can be seen as ill or that's dirty, that's low life. Although there are men that are highly successful, their pockets are full, but they will go and exchange money for sex. It's not so much about just the woman doing this, or the sex worker doing this, but it's a culmination of it all. So stay with me there, right? So now I want to get into a different dynamic in a form of exchange when it comes to sex. So I've been reading this book called Hearts of Tantric Sex by Diana Richardson. And there's this quote that just struck me when I read it. It says, "It is an orgasmic biological ecstasy which arises out of the dynamic interplay of opposite forces, and which is food for spirit." Now, when this quote says it is referring to sex. Sex is an orgasmic biological ecstasy which arises out of the dynamic interplay of opposite forces and exchange of energy, which is food for spirit. Just in that quote right there, it's letting you know that, sex is an energy exchange and it is feeding your spirit. So to think about sex feeding your spirit in the tantric way, I feel like we all can have much better sex in our lives. And let me say this again. We all can have much better sex in our lives, and we can exchange in a much more rich and a much more wealthy way than the lower vibrational ways to exchange, like gossiping and the news and fake news and drama, right? There's so much more of a healthy way to exchange, like actually sharing wisdom, actually sharing knowledge, and that's not false projection of an idea that someone has. I feel like having a better sex life is having more wisdom. And when you have more wisdom, you have more to share. As we know, or as some of us may know, some of us may not know, in our sacral chakra, which is where a lot is stored as far as creativity, as far as expression, we tend to express and get creative through the energy that is stored there. And when we are having this active physical exchange with a person, that physical exchange is accompanied by the food for spirit. Whether it's good or bad food is to be determined. But to think about that is just really thinking about, okay, how is this food feeding me, and how do I feel afterwards? So I feel like truly checking in with yourself after having these physical exchanges with people is very important. There's a lot of people out here that are just doing the physical act part, and they're not trying to have the other parts of a connection that are vital, like, mental stimulation or commitment or transparency, like all those different things. There's so many different things and aspects within connections. But when we take it down to just a physical act of it all, that is very, in my perspective, low vibrational, because there's so many ways to exchange sex without the physical act. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of enlighten you guys on that and my thoughts on the true meaning of sex. Also, I want to mention, yes, through the book of Heart of Tantric Sex, I'm learning different experiences to have throughout my body when it comes to Tantra and how I can bring that back to my relationship. I really do suggest that you all get this book, Heart of Tantric Sex by Richardson. I felt lighter after making this video because I've wanted to make this video and I did not want it to make it too intricate where people could not really get through it and understand it. I did not want it to make it too long. I'm so grateful for you guys tuning in, and I hope that this perspective has kind of broadened your perspective, and if it hasn't, let me know. And if it has, let me know. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Yeah. Thank you. Peace.